Hi, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about creating text in Canva and just some basic features that you can use and edit with text. So in Canva, you can find text by going to this left bar and clicking on text, and there are two types of text you can use: individual or normal text, and then text groups. So we're going to go over individual text first. So basically, these are just some presets and you can drag them on and they just set some basic things. So heading has, for example, bolding, big font size, etc. And then body text, sleek font, no bolding, small text size, etc. But you can always change these later on, so it doesn't really matter which one you drag on. So we're going to start with heading. So all you have to do, I explained this in the previous one, is just drag it on, and then there you go, you have your text. So I said in the previous video, you can use these nodes or these circles to actually resize the text box. So you can just hold and drag and you can resize your text box. But that's not the point here. What you can do if you ever want to edit the text, you just click inside the text box and you can just start typing. So I'm just going to do intro to Canva. So I'm going to, there you go, I have my text now. And I'm just going to drag this to the top. So it's very easy. What you have to do is just hover over it and you can just drag it anywhere you want. And Canva has these really cool grids that you can use to center everything. So I'm just going to do that. And then there you go. But what if I want to change things like the font or the color or anything else? Well, that's what this bar is for. So firstly, here is your fonts. So firstly, I'd like to say that not all fonts work with bolding, italics, and formatting, but you can choose from these list of fonts and just see which font you want to use. So I'm going to set it to this Aileron Thin, and there you go. Now I have this really clean, nice, sleek font. And by the way, I said that you have to highlight whatever text you want to change. So also up here you have the font size, very straightforward, very easy. Unfortunately, you cannot enter a value, but you can always choose from this list. And then you have your colors here. So this is actually really cool. First of all, let me just highlight that text. Just go ahead and highlight that. Now you have your default color palette, so you can set this to whatever color you want. But you also have, by the way, a document colors, which is basically if you want to set custom colors. So remember when I was talking about brand colors and how you can set your own brand colors? Well, this is where they would appear. So you can just set this by default. But if you ever want to create a new color, just click on this plus button and you can set the color to whatever you want, and then you can set the darkness of it. So I'm just going to keep it in that nice peach color. And then there you go, you have your text. Now, there's also some more features I'd like to cover. There's bolding and italics, so that's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm just going to make that bold and italicized. And then you have your text orientation, and then you have some really cool features here. So this is actually a very nice feature that you can use. So instead of having to type out an entire paragraph, but then realizing you want it uppercase, so having to erase it and then highlight it again and all of that trouble, you can just click this button, and what it will do is turn everything uppercased. So you can just click that on and off. And then you have a bullet point. So basically you can bullet point and then you can, make lists like that. And you can erase them just as easily. So if I ever want to disconnect it, as usual, I just press this list button and then there you go. And then there's this spacing feature. So what this you can do is you can change the letter spacing. So this is the spacing between letters. The line spacing, and I actually just want to show you. Let me just drag that down. I'm going to create a new line and type some text, and you can see that when I change the line spacing, the space between the lines actually moves. And then I have some anchor text box features, which is a little bit complicated, and I'm not going to be explaining it because it's not that important. So there you go. And we also have some more features here actually. So copy just means duplicate in Canva. If you copy, it will just duplicate the text box. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. You have arrange, which is only for multiple items. We're not going to be talking about that now. And you have a transparency feature. So this is very cool. You can just click on that and you can change the opacity of your text. And then you have a really cool link feature. So this only works if you embed your Canva design. So if you download it and upload it, it's not going to work. But what you can do, also by the way, it needs to be public, is you can just click link and then type in a website. So once you do that, if you have it embedded on your website, for example, if someone clicks on the text, it will take them to that link. So that's very cool. And then of course you have a trash button, but you can always just click delete. Just going to click that. And then there you go. That's really it for individual text. But you have these really cool features here. Now, there are some bad things about this, which I'm going to be talking about way later in the series. But these actually create default text groups with already set fonts, everything like that. So let's say I just want this. All I have to do is just drag that on, and then there you go. And I can resize it, and it's very responsive. And you can see that the text is actually organized into groups. So it says here ungroup. If I ungroup it, you can see that you can see all of these different text boxes, and they're all grouped together in one. So then I can change this to whatever I want. I can change that to 2017 if I want. I can just change this however I want. So there's so many to choose from here that you can use. I know these are all white and black, but if you go down, you can see there are some colored ones. So that's it for text groups. Again, the settings are almost exactly the same. And the only difference is it groups text together instead of you having to do it on your own. So that's really it for text in Canva. It's very simple. And once we're going to be using this a lot. So it's going to become very easy for you. And it's probably one of the key features in Canva.